Felicitous greetings, fellow fanatics. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Fanatic, and today we're going to be taking a look at Micro Bots Duel and its power-up expansion, a bluffing-driven card game by Prometheus Game Labs. Please do bear in mind that this is a preview based off of a prototype. As such, nothing is finalized, and anything seen herein is subject to change. In Micro Bots Duel, two players will each take command of a robot, simultaneously selecting actions to take against one another. You'll have to manage your supply of both cards in hand and your power tokens to fight, both of which serve as options in bluffing, but you can also power up your bot for future bouts. You'll also have the opportunity to purchase additional cards to help along the way, but you'll need to be quick if your opponent has their eye on the same one. The last robot standing is the winner. To set up, you'll begin by placing the range tracker in the middle and placing a blue cube on the centermost spot. You'll also take the two combat trackers and place them beside one another, placing the green and red cubes on them. I suggest keeping them on the ones for now. Separate the upgrade cards into two decks, one for weapons, denoted by a red explosion, and one for support, denoted by a green triangle. Shuffle each deck, then deal out two cards face up so that they're within easy reach of either player. After that, each player will need their own status tracker, placing a red cube on the 7 spot for armor and a yellow cube on the 3 for energy. Each player will also need their own set of 6 power tokens ranging from 0 to 5, which they'll want to keep face down and mix up a little to hide them from their opponent. Players then need to choose a bot to play as. There are 4 in the base game, plus an additional 2 available in the power-up expansion. For this preview, we'll be looking at Sparky and Turbo. Each bot has their own character card, which aligns with the status tracker. You'll also take 4 action cards unique to that bot and 3 basic cards to form your starting hand. And with that, you're ready to begin. Each round consists of 3 phases, starting with the planning phase. During this phase, each player will choose a card from their hand and place it face down. Once both players have selected their cards, they reveal them simultaneously. They'll immediately check to see which bot has the lower initiative number, and that player will act first during the action phase. In this case, Sparky goes first with an initiative of 50 and will take their action phase first. The first thing you'll want to do during the action phase is move your card to the appropriate spot. If it's a weapon card, place it to the left of your bot. If it's a support card, place it to the right. Then, going from top to bottom, resolve any effects with an arrow. For advancing shot, we see that Sparky has the option to advance weapon +1 spaces. This means we count the number of cards that are currently to the left of the bot, including itself. So Sparky can advance 2, allowing it to move the cube up to 2 spaces in that direction. In this case, Sparky chooses to use the full value, putting the bots into short range. Next, it says to attack 1, so Sparky declares an attack and sets the combat track accordingly. The base attack is 1, and the base defense, determined by the current range, is also 1. When attacking, each player secretly chooses a power token to use. The value of the token will be added to the combat values. So when Sparky reveals a 2, we'll advance the damage marker 2 spaces. Likewise, Turbo reveals a 1, so we'll advance the defense tracker 1 space. At this point, starting with the attacker, both players have the option of using held actions. Each character has one innate held action that's always available to them, listed on their bot card. You can also gain held actions when you play cards. In this example, Sparky activates a held action on advancing fire to add an additional point of damage and flips the card over to show that its held action has been exhausted. After both players have passed simultaneously, the combat is over. Subtract defense from the damage. In this case, 4 minus 2, which means that Turbo will take 2 damage. It should be noted that no matter how great the difference, a single attack will never deal more than 3 damage. Some attacks will have effects that occur on a hit or miss. A hit is any attack that deals at least 1 damage, and a miss is any attack that fails to do such. These effects will occur immediately after the attack is resolved and final damage is determined. After an attack, both players discard their power tokens face up so that players know which ones have been exhausted, although there are 2 exceptions to note here. Firstly, the 0 token is never exhausted and is returned to your ready tokens immediately after being used. Secondly, when the 1 token is exhausted, you place it onto your bot card. Until it's readied again, your bot is boosted, allowing it to better use its innate ability. To finish up a player's action phase, they have the option of buying a single card from the market at the cost of 1 energy. It may be any of the 4 face-up cards, or the top card of either deck. In this instance, Sparky likes the deflection card, which will immediately go into their hand. Whenever a card is purchased, immediately draw a new one to place it. In our example here, since Turbo is not yet acted and survived Sparky's attack, they'll now get to use their own action card, answering aggression for aggression. After both players have taken their action phase, things will repeat, with players choosing a new pair of cards to reveal against one another. Action cards have a variety of different effects. There's one in particular we should look at, the Recharge card. When you play Recharge, you don't place it into an action row, and it has a few different effects. Firstly, you gain 3 energy, plain and simple. Secondly, you return all your power tokens to their ready state, allowing you to use them once again. Thirdly, you return cards to your hand. You have the option of leaving up to 2 of them in place, allowing you to build into combos more quickly. Finally, you have the option of paying 1 energy to flip up a face-down card that you left in the action row, allowing you the opportunity to use its held action again without having to play it from your hand. Players will go back and forth taking turns like this until either player hits 0 armor, at which point the survivor is declared the winner. And that's about it for the base game. However, we're not through yet. We have an expansion to look at. But first... This video is brought to you by Zephyr Workshop's Aegis Second Ignition, currently on Kickstarter. I've featured the original Aegis more than once on my channel. It's no secret that I'm a huge fan. This medium-light tactical skirmish game will have players assembling teams of 5 robots to battle it out. As the battle rages on, robots can combine together to form larger, stronger machines to wage battle. In addition to featuring scores of new robots that can be played as a standalone title, the new box is fully compatible with the original Aegis. Second Ignition also features the brand new Starpoint and Solo modes, giving you more ways to play than ever before. Combine your pledges now to help make this new set a reality. Hitting Kickstarter simultaneously with the base game is the Micro Bots Power-Up expansion. This adds 2 new bots, doubles the size of the upgrade decks, and comes with some new features to offer even more options for your game. Setup is mostly the same as the base game, however, you'll also need to place 3 black cubes on the range tracker as shown. You'll have 10 new power tokens. Place these face up within easy reach of both players, but make sure they won't get confused with those that they've exhausted. Additionally, each player will take a wildfire card and power-up track that's unique to their bot. Place the wildfire card nearby, but don't add it to your hand yet. Place the power-up track so that it aligns with your bot card and status tracker, then place a black cube on the 0 spot. When playing with the power-up components, the first thing to take note of is the cubes on the range tracker. If you move the range tracker onto one of these spaces, you'll start by advancing the cube on your power-up track 1 level and immediately gaining the ability stated on that level, if any. Level 1 never has a power, while level 3 allows you to add your wildfire card to your hand. More on that in a moment. Meanwhile, levels 2 and 4 are unique to each bot. If you're already at level 4, you won't gain a benefit at this point. However, regardless of whether or not you can advance your cube, you will be able to swap out one of your power tokens. When you do this, their numbers must match, and the state of the token remains the same. In other words, if you trade in a token that's ready, the new token will be ready to be used immediately. Each of the enhanced power tokens has an added bonus, such as generating energy when revealed, flipping a card face up, or allowing you to acquire an upgrade card for free. After switching out a power token, or choosing not to, your opponent takes the black cube that you landed on and places it on the range tracker on any empty space of their choosing. The other major change that the expansion brings is the aforementioned wildfire cards. When you have yours in hand, you may choose to play it during the planning phase like any other card. But there are 2 very unique things about these. Firstly, you'll notice that they don't have an initiative value listed. Rather, the initiative is equal to your current armor times 10. So if you manage to get it quickly and play it before taking damage, it'll be a fairly slow 70. But if you're running on fumes and only have 1 armor left, you'll be able to play it to act swiftly with a 10. The other thing you've probably noticed is that it doesn't list itself as either a support or weapon card. Rather, it may be played to either row at your discretion. The goal of the game remains the same: reduce your opponent's armor to 0 before they can do the same to you in order to claim victory. All in all, Micro Bots Duel is a fun, fast-paced little title. I'm rather impressed with the amount of variety that they've managed to pack into these tiny little tins. Not only does each bot bring unique strategies to the game, but the competition for upgrades means that you can never dedicate to a single strategy for every game. The power-up expansion further builds upon the unique abilities of each bot, while also increasing the contents of the upgrade decks. Most of the time when you get a micro game, you expect it to be something very light. While Micro Bots certainly isn't heavy by any means, it has a fair bit more to its mechanics than your average micro game. This isn't coup or love letter and falls more into the medium light range. I'd especially recommend it to those who enjoy games inspired by video game style fighters such as Exceed or BattleCon. As this is a prototype, I'll not be giving Micro Bots Duel or the power-up expansion a formal review score at this time. What I can say is that it's a fun little pocket title that fans of bluffing-heavy dueling games will certainly enjoy, and I can't wait to see the finished product. And if you don't want to wait to try Micro Bots for yourself, then you'll be happy to know that there's a fully playable tabletop simulator mod available to try. It doesn't feel as micro in here, but you'll be able to experience the full game. As of the time of writing, it only includes the base game, but there are plans to add the expansion in the near future. As always, I'm very supportive of any dev that's confident enough in their product to place the full game on display in Tabletop Simulator or similar mediums. Micro Bots Duel and the Power-Up expansion are coming to Kickstarter on February 1st. If you're interested in backing, trying out the Tabletop Simulator mod, or simply learning more, links are included in the description. But what about you? What do you think of Micro Bots Duel? What micro games do you enjoy? If you have any questions, remarks, or opposing points of view, leave them in the comments down below. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell. If you really enjoy my work, please consider funding my channel on Patreon. Until next time, farewell, fellow fanatics. Thank you again for watching. I have plenty more to share with you if you're interested. You can click up here above my head to subscribe to my channel. You can click over here on my monitor to see the most recent video that I've worked on. Or if you prefer, you can click up here to open this mysterious vault and see what video that the YouTube algorithm has picked just for you.